The Horse and His Boy. In the sun-baked lands of Calormen, far to the south of Narnia, a young boy named Shasta lived a life of drudgery and dreams. Raised by a stern fisherman named Arshish, who claimed to be his father, Shasta spent his days mending nets and wandering about the lands to the mysterious north. His fair skin and light hair set him apart from the dark Calormens. Fueling his suspicion that he didn't truly belong in this land of heat and spice. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, a noble Tarkan, a great lord of Calormen, arrived at their humble fishing village. The Tarkan's eyes fell upon Shasta, and he offered to buy the boy from Arshish. As Shasta eavesdropped on their conversation, he overheard a shocking truth. He was not Arshish's son at all, but a foundling discovered in a small boat years ago. Filled with a mixture of fear and excitement, Shasta decided to flee. But he wasn't alone in this plan. The Tarkan's magnificent warhorse, Bree, was no ordinary stallion. He was a talking horse from Narnia, stolen as a foal and longing to return to his homeland. Together, boy and horse hatched a daring escape plan. Under the cover of darkness, with stars twinkling like distant promises in the velvet sky, Shasta and Bree set off northward. The warm night air carried the scents of desert flowers and distant oases. As they galloped across the moonlit sands, Bree's hooves thundered against the earth, each step taking them closer to freedom and further from the only life Shasta had ever known. Their journey was not to be a solitary one, however. On their second night of travel, they encountered another pair of escapees. A proud Tarkina noblewoman named Aravis and her own talking horse, Huin. Aravis, fleeing an arranged marriage, was as different from Shasta as the moon from the sun. Her haughty demeanor and noble upbringing clashed with Shasta's humble origins. Yet circumstances forced them into an uneasy alliance. The foursome continued their journey north, their path fraught with danger and deception. They navigated the bustling city of Tashbaan, a labyrinth of narrow streets and opulent palaces, where the air was thick with the aroma of exotic spices and the cacophony of 1,000 voices. Here, amidst the chows and color, they nearly lost everything. Shasta, mistaken for Prince Corin of Archenland, found himself swept up in the entourage of Queen Susan and King Edmund of Narnia, who were visiting Tashbaan on a diplomatic mission. The opulence of the Narnian delegation, their fine clothes, their easy laughter, their talk of a land where animals spoke and trees danced, only fueled Shasta's desire to reach this magical kingdom. Meanwhile, Aravis, using her noble status, infiltrated the palace and overheard a sinister plot. The Calormen Prince Rabadash, enraged by Queen Susan's rejection of his suit, was planning to lead an army to invade Archenland and then Narnia itself. The stakes of their journey suddenly grew far beyond personal freedom. The fate of kingdoms now rested on their shoulders. Reunited and armed with this crucial information, the four fugitives raced against time. They crossed the vast desert, a seemingly endless sea of sand, where the sun beat down mercilessly and mirages shimmered on the horizon. Water was scarce, and every step was a test of endurance. Yet they pressed on, driven by the urgency of their mission and the promise of freedom that lay ahead. As they neared the end of their desert crossing, disaster struck. A ferocious lion, later revealed to be Aslan himself, chased them, clawing Aravis and spurring their horses to unimaginable speeds. This final burst of speed saved them from pursuit, but left them exhausted as they finally crossed into Archenland. Shasta, pushing through his fatigue, made a grueling run to warn the Archenlanders of the impending invasion. His journey took him through mist-shrouded mountains, where every shadow seemed to hide potential dangers. As he stumbled through the fog, he found himself in the company of a mysterious presence, Aslan himself. Though Shasta did not know it at the time, the great lion provided comfort and guidance, pushing Shasta to limits he never knew he possessed. Thanks to Shasta's warning, Archenland was prepared when Rabadash and his army arrived. A great battle ensued at the gates of Anvard, Archenland's capital. The clash of swords, the twang of bowstrings, and the cries of men and beasts filled the air as the fate of the northern kingdoms hung in the balance. In a twist of fate, Shasta discovered his true identity. He was Kor, the long-lost twin brother of Prince Corin and the heir to the Archenland throne. This revelation brought with it a new set of challenges, as Shasta, now Kor, grappled with his newfound royal status and the responsibilities it entailed. The battle was won. Rabadash was defeated and transformed into a donkey by Aslan as punishment for his aggression, and peace was restored. But for our protagonists, the adventure had changed them irrevocably. Shasta, the boy who once mended nets by the sea, was now Prince Kor, heir to a kingdom. Aravis, who had fled her homeland in search of freedom, found a new home and purpose in Archenland. Bree and Hwin, finally back in the north, where talking horses roamed free, had to adjust to a life very different from the one they'd known in Calormen. As the dust settled and the characters looked to their futures, it became clear that their journey had been about more than just a physical trek across desert and mountain. It had been a journey of self-discovery, of learning to look beyond appearances and prejudices, of finding courage in the face of adversity, and of understanding the sometimes mysterious workings of fate, or, as the Narnians would say, the will of Aslan. The story of The Horse and His Boy is unique in the Chronicles of Narnia, as it takes place entirely within the world of Narnia and its surrounding countries during the reign of the Pevensies, as mentioned in The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. It expands the reader's understanding of this magical world, introducing the exotic and Arabian-inspired land of Calormen, the buffer kingdom of Archenland, and providing a glimpse into the daily life of Narnia, under its human kings and queens. The vivid descriptions bring this expanded world to life. You can almost feel the heat of the Calormen sun, smell the pungent aromas of Tashban's marketplaces, and sense the cool relief of the mountain air as the characters cross into Archenland. The contrast between the opulent, hierarchical society of Calormen and the free, egalitarian Narnia provides a rich backdrop for the characters' personal journeys. At its heart, this is a story about identity and belonging. Shasta's discovery of his true heritage as Prince Kor mirrors his internal journey from a downtrodden slave to a confident young man, ready to take on the responsibilities of leadership. Aravis must reconcile her Calormen upbringing with her new life in the north, learning to value substance over status. Both Bree and Hwin long separated from their homeland, must relearn what it means to be Narnian talking horses. The relationship between Shasta and Aravis is particularly well drawn. Their initial antagonism, born of their vastly different backgrounds, slowly evolves into mutual respect and eventually a deep bond. Their journey together teaches them both valuable lessons about looking beyond first impression and the dangers of pride and prejudice. Aslan's role in this story is subtler than in some of the other Narnia books, but no less significant. His appearances drive the plot at crucial moments, from spurring the horses to their greatest speed to guiding Shasta through the mountain mists. The revelation that he was the lion who wounded Aravis, doing so to punish her for her earlier cruelty to a slave, underscores the theme of divine justice tempered with mercy that runs throughout the Chronicles. The battle scenes, particularly the final conflict at Anvard, are described with an excitement that will quicken the pulse of any reader. Lewis doesn't shy away from the reality of warfare, but he balances the gravity of the situation with moments of humor and heroism. One of the book's strengths is its exploration of different types of courage. There's the obvious bravery of charging into battle, but also the courage it takes to flee an oppressive situation, to continue a journey against overwhelming odds, to stand up for one's beliefs, and to accept a destiny one never expected. The theme of freedom versus slavery runs throughout the narrative. It's present in the literal sense, with Shasta escaping from his life of drudgery, but also in more subtle ways. The Calormene society, with its rigid hierarchy and unquestioning obedience to the Tishruk, may he live forever, is contrasted with the freedom and equality enjoyed by Narnians. Even Rabadash's transformation into a donkey can be seen as a kind of slavery, a punishment that restricts him to the temple of Tash and robs him of his human form. As the story concludes, we see our characters poised on the brink of their new lives. Jastikar must learn to be a prince and future king. Aravis must adapt to life in a new land. Bree and Hwyn must reintegrate into Narnian society. These new beginnings remind us that every ending is also a start of something new, and that our journeys of growth and self-discovery never truly end. The Horse and His Boy enriches the world of Narnia, adding depth and breadth to the universe Lewis created. It stands as a testament to the power of courage, the importance of understanding others, and the idea that our true identities are shaped not by our birth or circumstances, but by our choices and actions.